Madam Speaker, I would like to read into the record a list of every Liberal scandal that I could possibly find. Now, fair warning, the list is not exhaustive, and I strongly believe the most rational individuals will believe that the government has not finished adding to the count. Now, traditionally, we would have the 12 days of Christmas, but after 9 years of NDP Liberal government, I bring you the 68 scandals this Christmas instead. So let's take a walk down scandal lane together as we review the 68 and continuing Liberal scandals. The Aga Khan vacation scandal, the prison needle exchange program, pressuring the Justice Minister to get Liberal donor SNC Lavalin off the hook and firing the Justice Minister for not helping with the cover-up. Some people experience it differently response over groping allegations. The We Charity scandal. Prime Minister assaults NDP MP in the House of Commons. Proroguing Parliament to escape the We Charity scandal. Sending personal protective equipment to China during a pandemic. Giving hundreds of thousands of dollars in ventilator contracts to Liberal Party insider Frank Baylis. Fake charges against Mark Norman. Rampant sexual assault in the military. Illegally invoking the Emergencies Act. Fabricating why the Emergencies Act was invoked. The Public Health Agency of Canada found committing contempt of Parliament in the Winnipeg lab document scandal. The Public Health Agency tracking scandal. Trampling Canadians with horses. Seizing Canadians' bank accounts. Rampant abuse of staff in the Prime Minister-appointed Governor-General's office. The Governor-General wasting over $100,000 to throw private jet parties. Liberal connections with illegal casino magnates. Vaccine delays and unwarranted vaccine mandates. Dressing up in racist costumes on an official trip to India. Dressing up in racist blackface costumes at least 3 times over 11 years. But, the Prime Minister is, this number is how many times the Prime Minister can remember. So mass airport delays and cancellations as we continue. Decriminalizing hard drugs. Lowering the flag for half a year. Polluting more in 1 year on his private jet than an average Canadian does in half a lifetime. More than 72 secret ordering councils. Sending diplomats to a party at the Russian embassy during the invasion of Ukraine. Having a minister give a $17,000 contract to a Liberal-aligned media firm. Letting Thomas Reuters take his chief of staff to the White House press correspondence dinner. The D&D minister misrepresents service. Trying to get unwarranted border searches of electronics. Restricting online free speech. Spending $11 million to renovate the Prime Minister's cottage. Raising the carbon tax during an energy crisis and ignoring racist laws in Quebec. Misinforming Canadians about electoral reform, skipping the first Truth and Reconciliation Day to go surfing in Tofino, eliminating mandatory minimums for gun offences while going after law-abiding firearms owners, the Prime Minister flying in his private jet to climate conferences, the Prime Minister partying in Scotland maskless while Canadians were still under lockdowns, failed reforms in the ATIP system, awarding contracts to government employees without proper bids like in GC Strategies, the ArriveCan or ArriveScam app, the $8 million barn built at Harrington Lake, Jamaica vacation that cost Canadian taxpayers at least $162,000, Liberal cover-ups of foreign interference with the family friend rapporteur, Liberals not naming foreign threats, Bernardo and Magnotta prison transfers, having a known compromised MP on the Liberal benches, the Speaker's Nazi scandal, the waiting to designate the IRGC as a terrorist group, skyrocketing debt, skyrocketing inflation, skyrocketing addictions, skyrocketing overdose deaths, the other Randy. Incompetent mismanagement of CERB, failing promises on Senate reform, anti-Semitic human rights chair, ECCC politicizing the Jasper wildfire response, $9 million penthouse for Tom Clark, illegal plastics ban, the Green Slush Fund, SDTC, while we're here today, CBC bonuses, the CBC CEO's travel to Paris, immigration crisis, pulling away refunds from farmers for unnecessary fertilizer tariffs and then charging them interest. The Minister of the Environment awarding funding to his own company. India's criminal activity, announcing and then redacting. Finding out that there was no other Randy. $6.5 billion was spent in a shallow attempt to buy votes. And there's more to come, I'm sure.